Hi everyone, Nick Sutton. I'm the owner of Digital Lens Rental, located down in downtown Norfolk. It's kind of not obvious what we do. We rent professional level photography equipment. We are the only company in Hampton Roads area. We are actually the only company for about 75 miles in Hampton Roads area as well. Started a few years back and been growing ever since. Like I said, one of the problems is we are the only photography company in this area now. You have your Best Buys, but other than that, there's really nothing else that you can even touch or look at equipment. So what we do is we allow people the opportunity to come to our office, our shop, and look at gear that's been recently released that we get in stock, and they can actually play with it. They can adjust settings, they can compare it to what they have, they can use their lenses, they can put their camera bodies or whatever they want to do. They can be hands-on feel, so you're not watching like a YouTube video trying to make a determination if it's what you want. We also, all of our staff is professional photographers or videographers, so if they have a question, if you're new to it or you're trying to figure out how do you do something with your camera, give us a call. We like talking camera stuff. We're nerds about that. Like I said, hands-on learning. We host workshops. You know, we love education. Everybody, you know, wants to learn. We're all about trying to grow the community, because if you're better, we're better. You know something, we don't know something, we'll talk, we'll figure it out. Last minute solutions. So our competitors, you know, is shipping. You have to ship things. So like with Florence, you know, I'm sure you have a FedEx package that's probably being delivered to your house, but it was supposed to be here yesterday. It might not be here till Friday. So you can just come to our store and rent on the spot, you know, instantly. And you know, shipping is expensive. So it can cost $50 to ship an item from our competitor. Why would, I mean, I know the HRBT is bad, but $50 is a lot of money in my opinion. So our breakdown on our clientele, you know, before we were like, oh, everybody with a camera, because everybody knows somebody with a camera, but you know, over the years I've been able to break it down even more. And so we have, you know, semi-pro to professional level photographers. Majority are actually wedding and newborn photographers, which I would have never guessed newborn, but looking at all the data, that's pretty much who was renting from us, and mostly females from 25 to 36 years of age, which is pretty interesting. So in this area alone, there was at one point 15,000 registered photographers. That's from Williamsburg all the way to Elizabeth City. There's around 1.6 million people in Hampton Roads, and why I think that is important is because people say that this area is saturated with photographers, but out of 1.6 million people, probably a majority of them own a camera of some sort. And you know, we have people call us all the time and go, hey, I have a camera, my daughter is at a dance recital, I want to do this. And we're like, oh, you want this, this, and this. We run a local Facebook group. It's got 3,500 members in it. Majority are photographers. We do have some that are, you know, people looking for photographers, so it's a good resource for photographers. Like I said, we're the only rental company. We're the only professional photography company. So about our growth. Last year we grew 120% from 2016, which was far more than I ever expected. This year we're on target, as of before the storm, for 110% growth. Basically that's saying that if we did exactly what we did in 2017, we'll hit 110% growth for this year. Our average sales up 35% from last year, and we've had over 300 additional transactions year to date from last year, and we still have the last quarter. So to break down how we kind of make our money, to open everyone's eyes. So this lens right here is a Canon 70 to 200. It's about $1,500, and it gets changed out from Canon about every 7 years. So it only requires us to rent it 3 times per month in 7 years. So if we rent it only 3 times for 7 years, it'll be paid for. Year to date, we've rented it 97 times. So it's pretty crazy returns on that. And this is saying that it's going down to 0. And what happens is, when they release a new upgrade, this $1,500 will actually be about $900. So we're really only spending about $600 to own this lens. So our future, what we're trying to do is we're trying to expand. You know, it's hard to get people from Williamsburg and Newport News to come to Norfolk. I get it. You know, I lived up here. I know I don't want to go to Norfolk. So we want to do Newport News. We want to do either a greater Williamsburg or maybe lower Richmond. and probably open up another location in like the Virginia Beach area, depending. That would be my last option because Norfolk is so convenient for Virginia Beach. We want to do more added services. Right now we do repairs, we do calibrations, we do sensor cleanings, but we want to bring a lot more stuff in-house, so we're not shipping out to service centers. So we want to add more services like that, do more education, workshops, and then the product expansion. Right now we mainly focus on photography, with some videography since they kind of intermingle with each other, but we definitely want to get in more product expansion and start dealing with like TV stations. We've had, I think it was Wavy that came and talked to us about collaborating with them, but we didn't have enough video stuff for them, so it's in the works. And that's it. Time to spare.
Okay. So now there are 5 minutes for questions. Folks?
I'll at least give him a hand.
You said, if I saw the slide correctly, that you were projecting a 10% growth in revenue.
110%.
And a 35% though increase in what your sales were. And I'm just trying to understand that correlation again.
Right. So before our sales, it was I'm trying to remember the exact number off the top of my head, but it was somewhere like it was like $87, and now it's like $111 per sale. So it's the sale that's increased 35%. The average sale has been up 35%. If that makes sense.
Okay. All right. Then why only 10%? What's eating up that profit piece?
That's a good question. I don't know that actually. I don't know that.
Okay.
What's your cost per workshop?
So that varies. We've done workshops where they're actually free. So what we'll do for the workshops is if someone's hosting a workshop, like another studio in the area, we'll go to them and say, hey, we'll sponsor your workshop. Let us brand it. Let us bring in some lenses. Let us bring in some equipment. Let people try it out. And let us brand your workshop. Or we'll host a workshop. So if we host a workshop, it will either be free to the community, just to bring foot traffic in, or it'll be a nominal fee just to cover whoever we bring in for their room and board.
So you don't know how much it costs?
Nope.
Yeah.
No cost.
How many staff members do you have?
3. Well, 3 plus me, so 4 total.
So along those lines, how are you going to scale this?
So my plan for scale on this is, there was talks, I was talking to other people about franchising this, but I don't think I want to franchise this. I like the Home Depot model, like you own each individual store, because then I have all the control of, we have one source for buying all the products, because right now I deal with Canon, Sony, and Nikon to buy all the equipment, and if I have multiple stores, I say, this store needs more of these lenses or these camera bodies, so I can just order them from our main hub and distribute them however need be, or say it's not renting this as much, but this store is, and then I can transition. And I think that is probably how I project seeing my scale, is having those multiple stores starting in Virginia and then growing out.
Can you tell us a little bit more about where you see the market heading? I guess me as a non-photographer, the question that's nagging in the back of my head is, as digital cameras and phones are getting more and more capable, are we seeing a shift away from more traditional photography equipment? Right. And is that good or bad for a business like yours?
It's not bad at all, actually, because there will always be a professional level camera. There will always be an entry level and a mid level. There was a big concern. People were like, "Oh, these cameras are getting so good in these phones. People are just going to start using their cell phones." Well, if you go to a soccer event or a football event, you zoom in on your phone. You're trying to steady your phone, even with built-in stabilization. The quality is not going to be there. If you go to a wedding, you're not going to have, being in the wedding, you don't want everybody holding their phone up, right? You're not enjoying the moments. I wish I knew the numbers on the sales, but the sales for photography have been crazy over the last 3 or 4 years. And, you would think it would be kind of the opposite because of cell phones, but it's not. The growth on sales for cameras is growing tremendously, and that's why Nikon and Canon are jumping into this mirrorless realm, because Sony was once the dominant force in mirrorless, and now you have Sony just released theirs and Canon just released theirs 2 weeks ago. So they'll always do that.
If you had an investor, how would you use the money?
I would definitely buy more product for sure. You know, I sell out of equipment all the time, and I watch my numbers and I say, all right, how many times have I sold out of this in the last 3 months? You know, let me buy more of this, and let me buy one, let me buy two, let me see what happens over these next 3 weeks. And you know, I kind of have a roller coaster too, where I have, in the falls we have a lot more weddings, so we're renting a lot more of the 70 to 200s. And you know, 9 months after Valentine's Day, I guess would be newborns, right? So, you know, then you have like, you have the prime limits. So it would definitely be product. It would definitely be a peninsula location, and you know, obviously the staffing.
Do we have time for one more question?
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about you? What made you want to start this?
So I was running the Facebook group, and it was kind of like the writing on the wall. You know, the camera shops closed up. All we had was Best Buy, and I was like, well, I don't want to really start a camera shop because map pricing really made that difficult. I can't really compete with Amazon. I can't compete with Best Buy. So I was like, well, I want to start a rental business, and I started digging into it, and I was like, hey, like this could work in this area. So I just started it kind of on a whim. I was kind of like thinking about it. My buddy was like, all right, you're doing this, and pushed me off the
Thank you very much.